telegram comes from Ahmednagar from Baba to my family saying that I want you all to be back in Ahmednagar on certain day because this day is fixed for your for engagement of Eruch and Meheru. Meheru is my sister. She's dead no more now. So, what? My mother and father says that we are called there for your engagement. Engagement? Okay. Those were the years when kids were under the control of their parents. No wonder they went rioting against them in the 60s now. So we went, you see, we went to Naga. And what do we find? All arrangements have been made for a big show, you see, and that is that my sister, I had to be engaged to the daughter of a family who was my cousin too, and her brother was to be engaged to my sister. So here he made preparations for all that, and we got engaged that day. He put the rings in our fingers and all that. And the best part of the whole engagement, I still remember, is the great feast that we had. Glutton that I am. So that was good. It was good in a way that we got engaged, and well, as a reward we got a good feast.
Had you met her before?
Oh yeah. Well, we grew up, you see. Yeah. So the parents of that side, you see, they wanted that they should form a relationship, closer link with this Jessawala family. So it was there. But the only thing that was there, that myself to return to college with a ring round my finger was too embarrassing. And what would my friends say? What will happen? But I didn't care, as long as I had the feast, you see. I remember the feast. So I went back. And because sure enough, people started questioning me, well, what happened? What's this ring? Are you married? No, sir, I'm engaged. Oh, what happened and all? I just spun some yarn and all that. And I pacified them that yes, I am engaged, so what? That engagement, I remained engaged for 7 or more years. Because in 2 years' time, you heard that Baba called. So we came. I was engaged. My brother was young. We had taken him out of the school. My sister was engaged too. We remained engaged. Years passing by. And then when we came to Baba, the first thing that he told us, as I told you all what had happened and all that, then we settled down. And Baba, at that time her retreat was under construction. Aside with the Westerners and Mera Mani and Khorshed lived in that other adjoining room to the museum which is now. And museum room was also occupied by the Eastern ladies and so forth and so on. And men went all down the hill. You follow, all women up there. And my duty was to escort him down the hill. And when he's down the hill, I had to be with him, follow him, do whatever he tells me to do. And again escort him up there, and that's the end of the day. Then in 1939, he asked me to be with him for the tour, driving the bus and all that. So I went out on a tour. Then in 1939, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 40, all the tours that we see in the books, I was all the time with him. Now, when I am with him now, the duty is now on me to read his board and this and that and all. I am in thick of all the activities, you see. Not in the midst, but I am there all the time, you see. Day and night, all the time it is there. Night time, nobody is there, keep watch. Daytime, drive the car, drive the bus. But in between daytime and night time, you see, when I am there, I just shave, you see, somewhere, somehow or other, and wash myself somewhere in some tap or something, because I am the only man, you see. And there was another person with me, Kaka, who was an older person, poor fellow, both of us, you see. The same man who told me about engineering, you see. Same, yeah, we got harnessed together, you see. So, some or other, and in the daytime I had to clean the bus. Daytime is good before starting for the journey, fill the gas, see the oil, see this, that, and everything, whole 24 hours engaged, the body is engaged. No time to think why I am doing it. There is no time even to think why I am doing this. What's the matter with me? So it's all there.
You didn't reflect why you were doing it?
No. That is His blessing, His grace. So then it went on and on. 1949 came. What was that? Where was that? What was? Yeah. Then it went on, 43, 44. Between that time, we are here. 43, we are here because 42, 43, this Maharaj got established. So Baba was seeing people here. So in 43, I hear some 43 or 44, I forget now, which is my wedding year also. How many years were there? 36. How many years is it? 36?
42 would be 7 years.
42, so it is 43 now. 8 years engaged. So one day, a bazaar man comes from Ahmednagar, who used to bring our marketing and all that. So I used to take accounts and do this sort of thing also. He says, today I had been to Akbar Press there, and there was a lot of row over there and all that. I just heard that. I said, what's the row about? Something happened, some riot there? I said, no, not riot. Something in the family, something was happening. I received a note from somebody, my relative, that my in-laws were so perturbed about this prolonged engagement, which they had never heard or seen or anything like that. And when they find that, well, the family on whom they depended to marry their children, what has happened is that they have joined Baba and they are wandering, they are leading a life of what? My sister would also come, Baba on the tour, mother, sisters and all that. My brother, he used to also come. Whenever we are not touring, he will be put in some school, poor fellow. And he will have to join there for 3-4 months. Again he is taken away and joined again and so forth. Very disrupted education. But he studied, he was very intelligent, he is very intelligent, very quiet, opposite my nature. I am impatient, he is personification of patience. So, what I read in the note is that, well, today it was a very bad day. The in-laws, you see, are greatly perturbed, and unfortunately they are so distressed that they have thrown Baba's picture in the well that is there. Just because it's also vague, because you have not decided to get married and all that sort of thing. It was like a thunderbolt. I had nothing to do with Meher Baba as such. There was no love lost in that. But this sort of thing, I don't understand what has happened to me and what's in my mind even today. Why should I feel for Baba like that? Why did they throw the picture of Baba? I had nothing to say about Baba's picture, and well, pictures are there and photos are there. I'm a really broad-minded person, you see. I have nothing. I have no regard or respect for printed things or anything of that sort like that. I have a good, kind heart. I did have and I still have. But what made me think it hurt me so badly that in a huff I went to Baba and I said, do you wish us to get married or you don't want us to get married? He said, do you wish to get married? He's asking me this question. I said, it is 8 years you got us engaged, and do you wish us to get married? Do you wish to get married? I said, yes, I want to get married. I said, then get the calendar. Got the calendar and we looked at the day. Yes, this particular day is nice because all people from Meherabad will be free, they will be coming here. Yeah, it's a good thing, good day. Fix this day, send a word there. And then I told Baba that such a thing has happened. So it's good you are getting married. Very good, we'll arrange it, we'll do it. So tell them that you are getting married on this day. Make arrangements. Yeah, I had to also see to all this sort of thing, I had to go to Pune to get my wedding, what do you call it? Dress. Trousseau. Outfit, whatever it was, yeah. All the Zoroastrian orthodoxy just tried to surface itself, you see, because of pleasing the in-laws and all that. So I went there, and on my own I did all this, as if I had had the itch to get married, get married, then arrange for it. So I arranged all this and all that.
Did you wear a dagli?
Yeah. No, it was a silk dagla. Yeah. Not the cotton type, but best of the silk and so forth. So, you know what dagli is, right? And feta, you know what feta is? I'll show you what it is. So I've got that. Not my own, but it's of Baba. So what happened is that the day has come. Baba and the women, Mandali and all. Baba comes there 2 days prior to the wedding and stays there at Akbar Press. And they are all very happy to hear that. The same day they are very penitent about it, the day that they received the note. And they begged forgiveness of Baba and Baba forgave them and everything was fine. The day is there. All the preparations are there. I get married. What is after all getting married is? Well, the priest and the others must have the blessings of the priest and must have the goodwill of the guests who have been called as witnesses that we are getting married, so that we may lead a straight life, That's why the witnesses are called. You call either 500 or 1,000 witnesses and feed them to be witnesses. That's how that thing started, It had a beginning. Formerly there were only 5, but then as people could afford, 5 started expanding into 50 and 50 into 500 and 5,000 then. And feed them as what? To be witnesses that I and my wife will live together lifetime. So that's how it is. Baba, poor Baba, was there. There were 2 weddings at the time taking place on the stage. Myself and my bride, and my sister and her bridegroom, whatever you call it. So they were all seated there, and the 4 priests are showering their blessings and mumbo jumbo. It went on for 1.5 hours. And Baba stood there, you see, and was standing there all the time. And here we are seated there, and he's looking at us. And of course, prior to that I was attending to Baba. That was my job. So that is the wedding day now. So now again I have to resume my attendance. As soon as I get out of the dais, I have to go and run to Baba. Baba is entering into his cottage there. So I go there. So Baba said, well, is the food can you get the food? The supper? It is evening time, we usually have a wedding. So I'm hungry. So I said, yes, food must be ready. So get me my tray. So I went and got his tray. I fetched it. And then I served him and he ate. And after he ate, he of course gave me one morsel of prasad. That's the usual. He used to do that. He knew that my saliva was drooling when there was food somewhere. And it is a fact. He knew that. So he would always feed me first. So then, after the food is over, he said, I washed his hands and all that. He said, by the way, now it's time is coming now for me to retire. Who will be the night watchman today? Who will be with me in the night? I said, I'm there as usual. But you forget, you are married. You have to go on honeymoon or something like that, isn't it? I said, yes, I'm married. Yeah. But I can, what harm is there if I continue to keep watch here for a couple of nights? Well, as long as you are here afterwards, of course, I don't do that. There was Chagan Master who should be there. So, all right, but will Khorshid like it? Means my wife. Call her. So she came. So, are you happy now? Says, yes, very happy. Baba embraced her and all that. Says, you embrace her. Baba tells me, and she embraced me, I embraced her, and we kissed each other and all that. And says, Khorshid, who will keep night watch tonight? Eruch used to keep, and tonight, who will keep? Says, why Eruch can continue? Eruch is there. Says, but you all are married today. Says, what harm is there in that? He can continue. You don't mind? Baba says, asks her, don't mind? She says, no, of course not. It's on the contrary, I'm happy. Again, she earned another embrace from Baba. So Baba says, I'm very happy and pleased with your answer. Take this food. So Baba gave her something to eat and all that. And she is about to leave, so Baba grabs her and calls her back. It's so good. I'm so pleased with your answer. How about you and Eris living as brother and sister from now on? This is as you please, she said. Yeah, I'll do whatever you want me to. I want you all to live as brother and sister from tonight. Yes, good. So that's how we got married, and we lived as that. Yeah. So after 8 years of engagement, so that's how it is. So you are.
What happened to your wife? Where was she?
She lived with her parents, and she would come and live with our parents, my parents.
She didn't stay with you though.
No. No, where is the opportunity? I am with Baba all the time, touring like a madman, roaming about, wandering. Yeah.
What did the relatives think next?
They know. No, I don't know whether they knew anything about it. No, I don't. I doubt very much. Nobody knows anything about it.
Is she still alive?
She died. She has recently Ketla with her.
Yeah.
4 years. 4 years.
79.
Huh?
March 79.
Oh, he knows the month.
historian of your
family. He's the historian of my family now. I married my sister. They led a family life. Baba permitted them. He became the manager of Sarosh Motor Works. He was an intelligent person. He held responsible posts and all that. Baba got him out of that and made him the manager of Sarosh Motor Works here, under Sarosh. And this was a big concern, not the thing that you see now. It's all drooping there and almost dead. But the whole compound would be filled with trucks, and Sarosh owned all the theatres in Ahmednagar itself and in the district, and a lot of activities would be there. And he needed some help, some intelligent and faithful person, honest man. So Baba got him out and put him there. And my sister and my brother-in-law lived at the same the quarters there where the trust office is now. The money's offices was the sitting room, and Baba paid visits very often to my sister there. And my sister somehow or other had come very close to Baba. Whenever food was necessary from Ahmednagar, it was my sister who would cook and send. The clothes for New Life that were to be stitched for the women, she was the one who would do that. The tailor who comes here now was taught to be a tailor by my sister so that he can serve the women here. And so my sister was very active, very energetic, very live. Yeah.
This woman you're referring to as your sister was your wife.
No. My sister got married too, isn't it? What happened? Who am I? Why should I be? There are people around here. The hall is full. I am here interpreting his gestures. Baba is here. Some excuse is there. Baba sends me out. I forget now what it is all about. Something is there. I want to have a sip of glass. I have a sip of water. I have water there. And somebody catches hold of me for a snapshot. Taking a picture. I said, no, don't waste your film like this. No, I was in a huff, you see. Because I was in a hurry to return. I said, don't do that. No, please. No, I said, no, why do you want to waste your... Baba heard my voice, so he was nearby. Called me, what is it? Why are you speaking in this vein? I said, Baba, there's somebody who is pestering me to take my snap there, and they want my photo and all that. So I said, so what? Who are you? Whom do you take yourself to be? To order him not to do so. To say that you shouldn't do it. Who are you? Why are you so presumptuous about your being, what you are? Allow him to take it. From that day onwards, whether you want me to take it naked, or whether as I take it as I have no say in it. Who are you not to share with others?
Well, there were reasons behind it.
Forget your reasons. You forget yourself, the reasons will all about you.
One of the reasons is time.
Out in search of families who were once well off, but due to some circumstances, well, they lost their wealth, and they are neither poor nor beggars, but they try to meet both ends, somehow or other, try to find out, and then I will go with you all and we'll help them. Then said, all right, what we'll do is we'll all go together. Instead of your coming and again going, we'll go. Why waste money? So that's what happened. So we used to go out, and what we noticed was that when we did find these people with great difficulty, we used to travel 1,000 miles, 800 miles to meet one family like that. And it was impossible for us to bring to them that they should accept something from us, means from Baba. They wouldn't want to stretch their hands out to accept anything. But with great difficulty we would coax them to accept. And there are many good stories about that. You want to hear the stories? These are the families that once Baba had the pleasure to contact them. And we must have contacted about a score of them. But the ones that touched me most are these that I remember. They stand out. So where do we begin now? We begin with a day when we are at Meherabad.
These are families who were having problems, what,
Not
financial?
financial, yeah. They were very well off. There were people who had their own, what do you call the saloon, you call it? A carriage, railway carriage, what do you call it?
Whole car.
Saloon, you call
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Railway
You know
car.
what it is? Who must he be?
Very rich.
Very well.
Who can own a saloon, you see? A suite in traveling.
Like in,
You're like a plane owner, tax plane you have, yeah, it's like that. Yeah. We came across such a man who had lost everything and had nothing. And what he depended upon, he and his wife depended upon having a small case made out of soap box, great wood. And there the shelves were there and they were selling bidis and cigarettes and matches. They used to live on that. There were others who had elephants at their doors and gates, you see, to adorn their palaces, and they were reduced. It's like that. Circumstances are there. Time and tide waits for no man. It's like that. You die or you're lowered from that position to a position which you had never even dreamt of in your life. So these people, to contact them and induce them to accept help was the greatest task. It is easier for us to get the musts to the Lord than to get these people to accept these things. We never thought of that. And Baba showed us how it is. Yeah. So we are in Meherabad one day, and in that small cabin that is the Rahuri cabin that is there now, you have seen that with the star and a cross and all that at Lower Meherabad. There's a cabin called the Rahuri cabin. All the material from Rahuri Mad Ashram of Baba's cabin got shifted from there and brought here and created this room that is known. We call it the Rahuri cabin. So that was the interview room. Just as in Myrtle Beach you have that lagoon cabin, which is his interview room where you used to see people, meet them, interview them. So also this became that cabin, that room for Baba. So Baba would be seated. There are many pictures of Baba. A gadi is there, a small mattress is there, Baba sits there and people come and they squat and sit. Baba sees them, interviews them, helps them out with the problems. Mandali come there, they are called, instructions are given and all that. That was his office. So as years passed by, I am reading his board, I am there all the time by his side. This happened in my presence. An Irani comes from somewhere, Bombay most probably, I don't know from where he came. Must have been Bombay. He comes. Well, he comes with devotion and much love. We see it. His love being poured out to Baba. He bows down with great reverence and feeling and all that. And he weeps and all that. And Baba blesses him. And then he takes out a packet, a wad of something, packet, and he offers to Baba. So Baba says, what is it? Baba never touched money, you know that. So first of all, when anybody offers him something, what is it? So he says, Baba, it's nothing but a simple offering. He says, keep it down. So he puts it down there. What is it? He says, Baba, it's a simple offering from me. Please use it in anything, any way you want it. He says, no, do one thing. I have received with love that you have offered it. I have received it. You take it. You use it yourself. But Baba, I have brought it for you. I have enough. It's for your work. So, no, you take it. It goes on. Tussle goes on and on. After 2-3 minutes, that man doesn't want to obey Baba because he thinks that he has brought with love as an offering to Baba. How can he take it back? It's a refusal from Baba. Baba is explaining to him that I have received it with love. With the love that you have brought, I have accepted it. Now I want you to use it. No, Baba, you must use it. So Baba, I was there. Baba says, take this packet, take this and keep it with you. And you will know to whom it should be given. One day, you'll know. You keep it with you. At the time, I never used to handle money or anything. And my work was such that I didn't wear much clothing or anything of the sort. It's just like this. No pockets or anything of the sort. So where to keep it? Put it here. So now, it's a great burden on me to carry this money. I don't know how much money is there, what it is and all. I have to keep it there and I will come to know to whom I should give it. So Baba says, take it. So I am going there to take it. This is, wait, stand up. So I stand there. So Baba said, he said, stand up, keep standing. So Baba bows down 7 times on my feet and he says, take this packet now and give it to the one who needs it. You will know to whom it should be given. And while offering, say that it's a gift from God. Accept it and oblige Him. So I take it and keep it. Now, it's a problem, it's a burden with me. Day and night I have to keep this packet. Any moment I might feel like giving somebody a seat. So, yeah, it's a headache for me, This Irani man came and did that. So I used to carry it. I used to sleep with it. I used to move about with it and all that. After about 3-4 months, it so happened that again Baba had sent me to Pune. It was summertime. And I went to Pune. And when I went there, what had happened was, it's summertime. And I'm thirsty, very thirsty. And then naturally I would like to have some cold drink. It's my favorite thing, to have something cold. The other day we spoke of, made the Lord walk 18 miles, you see, to have a glass of sarbat. So likewise. So I went in search of a shop. There are many shops in summertime. Sugarcane juice. They take the juice out, put some drops of lemon in it, and put ice in it and offer you the cup for simple 10 paisa or something like that. Formerly it was 5 paisa, I should say.
No, 12 annas.
Now 12 annas, of course. Those days are gone, the golden days, you see. Now your iron days have come, So, or rock days. So, I went there and I was enjoying sip. Just then there was loud talking going on at the counter. There was a man standing there and talking about it. And I could hear the vernacular, Marathi, Hindi, fluently. I speak. So he is bemoaning the fate of the world today. At that time, mind you, it must be about 40 years, 30, 40 years now. This must have happened somewhere in the early 40s. This 40 years at least, I should say. So at that time he was bemoaning the fate of the world. He says, look, righteousness never pays. See the injustice that has taken place there. The man who was so straight and so honest. Honesty never pays, I tell you. And he says, no, it's not that. Loud talking. Indians are in the habit of talking loudly. The man, he was one of the ones who had taken the drink and he's paying there. And they happen to know each other. So they are talking about a certain third party. And he is describing what had happened and this and that. He's trying to give an example, prove it, that honesty does not pay. So he's proving by giving an example of a family. And my ears, you see, all of a sudden pick up. Oh, because I had that burden with me. So I'm listening. And listen. And the man at last stopped his talk, and then he bid goodbye and went away. I finished my glass and immediately approached the man. I said, will you do me a favor? After paying him, of course, I said, will you do me a favor? Of whom were you all talking? Who is that family that has suffered so much? Is the family still there? Where is in Pune? He says, what concern have you of this family? What concern have you about the talk that you overheard just now? I said, there's no concern. The only thing is I'm concerned about their welfare. If I can be of any help, my elder brother is in search of such families, and if we can be of any help, we are sure to render some help like that, if they deserve it, because what I overheard was that they deserve it. Oh, but you'll have to go 40 miles away from here. From where are you? I said, I'm from here. I can't say I can't disclose. His name and identity is never to be disclosed. So I said, I'm from this area. He said, you'll have to go 40 miles from here. I said, I'll go. Where is the address? So he jotted down the address and gave it to me. He is a man who was holding a responsible position in a municipality. And because he was a responsible man there, he had to execute his work honestly. That's how he thought. And those who were under him and those who were above him, they were corrupt. And he was the thorn in the bed of roses that was there, for them. He proved to be that, because he wouldn't accept graft, he wouldn't want to do anything, he wouldn't do anything unjust or anything of the sort. He was such a straight person. So they demoted him. Somehow by hook or crook this complaint or something like that, demoting, reduced to the post of out back somewhere. You know, we have here, you all do not have that system called the octroi. We have the taxes as you enter the city limits or something like that. You have anything, you have your agricultural goods, onion bags, wheat bags, anything, or a machinery or a refrigerator that you are bringing in or out and all that, you have to pay municipal tax. So he has been made as a peon, a simple clerk to collect that, that's all. Well, if you are honest, then collect, because we need collection all the time. Nobody would accept the graft and let them go. Suppose the taxes to be paid is 10 rupees, the man at the post usually does that. Even now they do it. They accept 2 rupees and let him go. Put the 2 rupees in the pocket. Municipality suffers by 10 rupees. You follow? So an honest man is needed. Well, you want to be honest? All right, go there and be there at the post. Oh, so that's the thing. That's what he told me, that such is the thing, and he has been reduced to dire poverty, and he has grown up daughters there, and nobody is there to look. He cannot meet both ends. I said, well, fine, thank you. I thanked him very much profusely, and I left the place, took the next bus, reached that spot there, and went there in search of the family. And sure enough, I went there. Everything was dilapidated. Nothing was there. There was just a simple room there. A veranda, all eaten up, you see. There was no flooring there, nothing of the sort. And naturally, I was in my khaki topi, you know, that military dress at the time of the Britishers. You know, khaki shorts, yeah, and khaki shirts, a shirt and a solar hat, a khaki solar hat. So I went there, and they were frightened. The women folk were there. So the old lady was there. I said, well, so-and-so person is here. I says, now what has he done? He has not done anything now. What is it? She was frightened to see me there. I said, there is nothing to be afraid of. In the meantime, the daughters came, and I saw those beautiful girls over there. They hadn't the clothes to cover their bodies. They were torn, all. One of the girls, grown-up girl, her bosom was bare. I could see that. And she was shy, and she would try to defend the mother or something, defend their house or something. They thought that I had come from some office, you know, to collect some taxes or something of that sort. So I said, no, I am not that. I have come here, my elder brother has sent me. I have heard that there is some difficulty in your house, so I have come to help. So I said, no, please don't help us. Don't help us. It won't be possible even for us to pay any interest on it, let alone to return you the capital later on. Don't help us. It's all right. It doesn't matter for us. We somehow or other pull on. Please don't help us anymore. I said, no, it's nothing. It's to be given to you. We don't want it back. We don't want any interest or anything. I have not come for that. My elder brother has sent me specially here to give to you something. But I want the man. He says he has gone on duty. So when will he come? He says he'll come late in the evening. He's far away. He has to walk the distance and come. And he goes, next morning he'll go away. I said, will you do one thing? He need not go for work the next day. Tell him to take a holiday. And I will come again. I have come specially from Pune to see the man. Will you please do one thing? Keep him at home and don't send him. I will come specially for him. Are you sure you won't take it back? You won't want to have any interest? You wouldn't want us to give the thing back to you? I said, no, nothing else. It's a gift, straight away gift. Of money, I said. Money I have to pay. Oh, they were surprised. Who could that be? A person, a stranger, want to give money like that? And my heart said that. This is the family. So I said, I'll come. Please do that. Favor. It's a favor to do that we'll do. Sure, we'll do. We'll tell him. And I came the next day, and the man was there. And he had a look on his face of surprise and anxiety. He said, what's this? He never expects anybody to come like that, a stranger to come and help him like that. So I go there and I explained to him the whole situation. I said, I have come not with the intention of giving you a loan or expecting any interest out of it, without any expectation. On the contrary, we will ask you to accept it and oblige us. My elder brother has sent me. He says, all right, what is it? I said, please stand up here. Remain standing. And I bowed down to his feet 7 times. I gave him the packet. I said, this is a gift from God to you. Please accept and oblige him. I'm going now. So this is what, 1 minute. So this is what I did. And he burst out into tears and he dragged me away from his family. He says, are you a messenger from God? I said, no, I have come just from my elder brother. He says, do you realize what you have done to me today? I said, no. He says, when I came back last night, I had determined not to go to my post again. I wanted to commit suicide. It was unbearable for me to lead this life. But God heard my voice and He said,
Eruch, could I ask you a question about the significance of the Dhuni? I don't understand the Dhuni, or the origin of it in Baba's work, and how we commemorate it.
What should we say about the significance of the Dhuni? Well, you can ask, of course, but what may I tell you?
Will you put your question loudly?
Pardon?
I'm asking him to put his question loudly so that we can...
Yeah, speak loudly so that others can hear, You know why he speaks softly? Because he has got those earphones, and even when he speaks softly, he hears it loudly. Whereas we don't hear you. Why are you beating your forehead?
It's the mosquitoes.
Oh, I see. You're going to be here till Dhuni Day?
No, I'm going to miss the Dhuni. That's another thing.
Oh,
I have to go to Pune on Monday.
Doesn't matter. Well, you have asked for the significance of the Dhuni Day. First and foremost, after all, what is this Dhuni business, you see? What is Dhuni? You must know that. Do you know that?
I presume it means fire, but I don't know. Or ash. Does it mean ash?
What may I say? The other day, I still remember when Dr. Srivastava was here. When were you here? October last, you were here. When there were 7 doctors sitting around here. Doctors of letters. So they are the Pandits, you see, because this is a Sanskrit word and Sanskritized. So I asked them the same question. After all, what is Dhuni? And there were different definitions given to us, but all boiling down to the same thing, you see. Yeah, it's a symbol, symbolic representation of our one-pointedness, our love, our wanting to surrender and all that sort of thing. Dhuni is that. What was it at the time? What conclusion we came? It has happened, Brother Ed. Now coming to the point, I don't know myself what Dhuni means, really speaking. But we have come to the conclusion that at present day, we consider Dhuni to be a fire that is lit in a pit. And why is it considered to be sacred and all that sort of thing? Well, it's all nothing but a conjecture. But it's a logical conclusion that we have come to. What had happened, we had to go back some thousands of years from now. It's the symbol of one who has renounced the world, who has established himself at a place totally lost in communion with the Lord. And thousands of years ago, it was in vogue here in the Orient, in the East, that you have a certain lifespan, and that lifespan has to be spent properly. And the culmination of your lifespan should be spent, to be properly spent, is to be in communion with the Lord. The end part of your life. So, in the beginning, naturally, your childhood is there, you're pampered by your parents, and then you grow up, and then you have to have the education, and then you have to be under a tutor, and then you have to get married, and then you have to lead a married life, a family life, and then you have to engross yourself in some business or take up some job and all that. That's seeing to your own welfare and the welfare of your kith and kin, contributing something to the world from you. But what about your contribution to the Lord, the Creator Himself? So, your portion is a couple of decades for that too. And at the end part of your life, say when you are about 50, 60, I'm sorry.
You start to...
Yeah, you start to move out from the world, from the periphery of the world towards the reality. And in order to do that, in the early years, means millennia past, what they used to do, Kaun hai Baba? Huh? I'm sorry. So what happened is that, where were we?
What did they used to do?
Millennia back, what they used to do is, naturally, they used to follow this traditional form of life, you see, lifespan. So what they used to do is they used to bid goodbye to their family, hand over the charge to the grown-up children that were there, and leave the world. Leave the world in the sense, leave it entirely, leave everything. You get out. And they will go away, far, far away, away from, you may call it, human beings. So when they used to go out, it was a forested area all over the place. And they would seek a place where there would be water nearby, a forest area is there, to be secluded and to be totally lost in the thoughts of the Lord, the Creator. There's a contribution there, one's own contribution to glorify the Lord, you see. So that's how they would go. So they would go there and give up their life in contemplation. As with the passage of time, as years rolled by and all that sort of thing, naturally man first begins to dare him to lose himself, get himself away from the worldly ways. But then he has been living with a lot of company, and he feels himself lost and does not know what to do. And to top it all, you see, he's in an area infested by animals, insects, and many things are there. In spite of his determination and daring to now live for the Lord, but still human body is there, mind is there, and so many. He was just a few years ago, he was in the world. Now he's out of it now, and he's trying to live for the Lord. But all these encumbrances are there. So the best thing that he found out was, and of course the weather conditions were rough, cold winds would blow, and he'll feel the cold and all that. And the clothes that were there, they lasted for some years, you may call it a couple of years at the most. They got torn, and he's no more, he's totally naked, because he has left the world, he has nothing to do with that. So, and yet he dares to sit in contemplation and is transported to the realms of reality in his mind, you see. He thinks of something to give him company, to be totally left undistracted by insects, mosquitoes and insects are there, just as you just give a hit to your forehead. Why? Because of but he doesn't want these distractions and all that. There must be something to help him out. So, the ingenuity of man. This fire is wonderful. It gives me company, it gives me warmth. It keeps away the wild beasts. The smoke of it keeps away the insects. It's wonderful. It's good. It gives me company too. So that's how man first thought of keeping in company with the fire. And he lit a fire, and he used to be there, sitting in contemplation and getting himself lost. Time and again when he would come down to the world consciousness, you see, he'd put some logs or some wood or something like that, and again light the fire and keep himself. Water was very close by, the roots were there to feed him, fruits would be there, and his body felt the cold, so he thought ingenuity is there. He took fistful of ash and blocked his pores, and clothed himself with ash, which fitted with his renunciation, having to do nothing with the world. And he lived, and many reached the heights in their contemplations. Many did find the master who came to the Dhuni and blessed the striving soul. You see, when the seeker, it is said so, when the seeking is genuine and when the time is ripe, the master himself comes to him. It's not for the seeker to seek the master, it's for the master to come to the seeker and get him out of seeking and make him the sought one of the Lord. So that's how it was. So what happens is that this Dhuni is an ancient, traditional, symbolic representation of one great one who must have sat there. Hunters would come afterwards. The person has died who had lit the Dhuni there, but still the charcoal and ash and pit would be there. Oh, it seems to be a sacred spot. Somebody great must have contemplated here, who must have lost his life, eaten away by the beasts then later on. So, it's a symbolic, it's a mark, you see. You may call it a mascot of the one who has renounced the world. An emblem for the one who has renounced the world, Dhuni. And in later years now, after that, you see, it went on and on and on with the passage of the time, you see. Everyone who wanted to establish himself somewhere and create an area of sanctity, there would be a pit there and a Dhuni would be lit. So that would be taken as something sacred and nobody would want to disturb. Even the worst of the enemies wouldn't want to destroy that. It's something sacred. Yeah. Something most personal to somebody who has lived this. So that's how it is considered to be a symbol of sanctity, renunciation. So that's how it is. And it is good for the aspirants on the path, the seekers who went round, you see, traversed all over the country and all that. Wherever they would try to make their headquarters, they would have this Dhuni lit. But you might say that, well, why does Eruch go on rambling like that? I simply asked for the Dhuni day, you know. Why the heck does he go around and why does he not come to the point? But how may I come to the point, you see? Because there's no point to come to. We are talking about the God-man, you see. And does he need any symbol? Has he renounced the world? He comes to tell us that the world is nothing but an illusion. There's nothing to renounce, you see. He just wants you to become aware. There is nothing to be shed except your own self, you see, the lower self. You have not to leave the world or anything. You have to live in the world and shed your lower self, you see. He doesn't come to ask you to renounce the world or anything of the sort. So what about the symbolic representation? Why this Dhuni business? So I'm trying to build up a background to explain to you. You follow? So be indulgent with this rambling that goes on here. I have that dirty habit, you know. What can I do? It is so. So what happens is now, as years pass by, this symbol that has been established, you see, as mark of spirituality, it was taken as a mark of spirituality. Instead of being the sign for one who, a true renunciator, had abided over at a place, it is now taken as a symbol of spirituality, sign for spirituality. You know. That's how it is. So all the gurus, all the saints, all those who, you may call it, who were the seekers on the path, they time and again, you see, would establish this fire and call it a Dhuni fire. How does it derive its name? You see, Dhuni is most probably from the smoke or from the ash. Or what happens is, while the fire is lit, there is that contemplation and repetition of the same name of the Lord, you see. Baba, Baba, Meher, Baba, Meher, Baba, Meher. That is known as Dhun. Repeating the name of the Lord. Repeating means the same name of the Lord. Or in a rhythm. That is known. Anything that is rhythmically in chorus repeated is Dhun. You follow? And maybe from that the name Dhuni has been derived, or from the smoke, you see, that is Dhuri. Dhuri means smoke. So that's how I believe, that's the thing. That's how I feel. What do you think? He's a Pandit himself, you know. Shivasa. Yeah.
But did Baba say we
Just a minute. You don't know. You should know. You are a Pandit, no? Huh?
I don't know.
Yeah, we know that. Nobody knows anything. I know that. We don't know.
What's the origin of the word?
So that's how it is. So now what happened is, now we are coming to your point. Don't be impatient. Right? Yeah. So what happened is that naturally you can't expect that Meher Baba should establish himself or be known to have established himself by the symbolic representation of Dhuni or anything of the sort. Nothing of that sort. He came here and as a man he came and had people flocking around him and all that, and he harnessed their energies, you see, into renovating those barracks and all that sort of thing. And he called it what sort of a yoga that your master indulges, that Gamela yoga. And Gamela means the basin, carrying load of earth, you know, and dumping here and taking it out and all that. He has nothing to do with this sort of thing. But what had happened is, the whim, the divine whim. In some early years, you see, when he had come to Meherabad, this area, this whole district was under the spell of drought, severe drought, no rainfall. And the farmers were totally at a loss what to do. Their wells had dried up. There is no irrigation, no irrigation through canals or anything of the sort. So they depended upon the level of the table, water table that had gone down. They had nothing except to implore for intervention of the Lord, for the mercy to shower upon them. Having heard that some great person has come here in this area, why not approach him? After we have tried our best, you see, and we have failed in all these things, why not approach him? So, they came in a procession from all the villages, the heads of the villages, and the other villagers also. The crowd came to him, and they begged of him to intervene. And maybe the Lord was pleased, so that we may have all this rambling on Dhuni today, that he said, "Oh, you better go away from here, go back. Well, you'll go, hurry back to your homes. But we want rain." So, yeah, you go back, otherwise you'll get drenched. Don't detain yourself here, you go away. But where is the sign of rain? You see, the scorching heat of the sun is there, you see. You better go away. So some others who were around him said, "You better, now that you have come and asking him, you better go back, otherwise you'll get drenched," he says. Go, hurry up, do as he tells you to do. If you are coming here to ask him to intercede on your behalf. So what happened is that as soon, most of them did leave. Some of them loitered nearby villages and all that sort of thing, feeling frustrated that even having gone there had no charm in it. Baba immediately told, when the villagers were cleared out of the grounds, Baba said, light a Dhuni here, showing the spot where the Dhuni is now, nearby. Near the main road, it was a dirt road at that time. So that pit was dug, and so light the Dhuni there. And well, they lit the Dhuni, and there was a prayer or some arti that was sung there or something like that. Baba's presence was there. And the Lord was glorified for his bounties and all that. And sure enough, the clouds started gathering. And there was such a downpour that those who had loitered around and not returned to their villages, it was difficult for them. They got drenched. And it's a memorable day. The Dhuni was lit and the rain did come and fall in torrents. That's why it is remembered. The Dhuni is remembered, but it is not the day. The day has been, that may have been some other day. We don't know. Whosoever may remember might remember it. I don't know. But what happened is that, of course, then there is another little sequel to it. Baba asked all those who were there to, in praise of the Dhuni. Now that rain has come, you see, and people's hearts were delighted and all that. So in praise of the Dhuni, create a song for the Dhuni, you see. So many attempts were made and all that, and this and that and all that sort of thing. So Dhuni was called the friend of the Lord, the Wali. It is known as the friend of God, Wali. So Baba addressed it as the Wali. You know, on the path there are Walis, Peers, perfect Sadguru, Kutubs and all that. So he's a friend of God. Naturally, he's a friend of God to help the Lord's whim to get rain. So that's how some compositions have been made and all that. And of course, it was all forgotten. Villagers were very happy, but it was all forgotten. Dhuni was forgotten. Sometime afterwards, again Baba says, just light a Dhuni. It was the 12th of the month. And again after some years that passed away, again he called for the Dhuni to be lit. And it was in 1954, we remember, that he told us to light the Dhuni again, but at the same time, there were some Westerners were there, some Easterners were there, and he said, light the Dhuni. It was the 12th of the month, and that time he said, have some little splinters you see around, sandalwood splinters, and he got it in a tray full of splinters there and put it there, and he himself lit the Dhuni. I don't know whether you have seen, there's a picture taken of Baba lighting the Dhuni himself this time. You all have seen it? It's in the film also. So there this Dhuni is lit. And Baba then told those who were gathered there, he says, I wish you each pick up a splinter and put it in the Dhuni fire representing that attachment which pesters you most. That particular thing of which you are most attached. Put it in the Dhuni fire. So that's how they did it. That's all. And afterwards, Baba says, after some time, after some years again, he says, light Dhuni every 12th of the month. And since then, every 12th of the month, those who are in charge, they light the Dhuni. But they don't light it. Some extraordinary person comes, you see, somebody comes from Puerto Rico, says, oh, it's a good representation of the world. You light it. Somebody comes from Japan, you light it. Sometimes somebody is chosen to light the Dhuni and all are there and they sing and praise the Lord. Means Baba. That's how it is.
Why do they bow down to it, though? I don't understand this business of putting your hair practically in the fire. It's frightening.
Who wants you to bow down to it?
Padre.
Padre wants you to bow
Yeah,
down?
we all have to get in line and bow down.
Yes, those who wish to bow down, they bow down. There is no compulsion there.
But are you bowing down to the fire?
No, you are not bowing. You are bowing down.
Zoroastrian.
You are bowing. Why do you have to bow down to the fire?
I don't know.
What you have to do is to bow down to Him who is fire indeed. And there is a nice little composition on fire. Falu, Chavila, Lal Kitabla. So there is a nice composition of Baba has given. Have you read that? No? That He Himself, so we bow down to Him, respecting the, you may call it, culminating that particular occasion by offering one's obeisance and respect.
It's just that it frightens me. There's so much flame
that we have
and
carried
so much
out.
hair. I'm afraid to do it.
You don't do it then. You keep away from there.
Well, I do.
Yeah.
And
Keep at a
I
distance.
didn't understand whether there was something.
What
because
is
of
needed?
fire and
What is
his
needed?
relation to Zoroaster.
Yeah. What is needed is nothing to do with that.